I'm here to do a little bit of math homework help. So if you want to get your math paper out, we'll do some of these together and it'll get you a head start for the week. So the first one I'm going to look at that might be a little bit tricky. Maybe 7. It says, a square can also be described as a quadrilateral, a rectangle, a polygon, or all of the above. Well, a quadrilateral means it has 4 sides. Since a square has 4 sides, yes, it is a quadrilateral. A rectangle is a shape that has opposite sides parallel. So these sides are parallel and these sides are parallel. And right angles. Well, since a square has all those things, then yes, it is a rectangle. A polygon is just a closed shape made of segments, not of curves. So it is a polygon. So our answer would be all of the above. So that'll help you on 7. Okay. I'm going to skip down to 9. This is on the distributive property. We studied this in our multiplication chapter, so it's been a while. The distributive property says that we can solve complex problems by breaking them down into more simple multiplication equations. So, for example, I would probably break up this 34 into a 10, a multiple of 10, like a 30, and then that would leave me with the 4. As long as I times this 30 by 5 and this 4 by 5, I'm going to get the same answer as if I did the regular multiplication 34 times 5. So I'll multiply this with this equation and add them together. So if I get 30 times 5, well, 3 times 5 is 15. It's a multiple of 10, 150, and then plus 20. So that gets me to 170. Let's see if I'm right. I'm going to actually multiply 34 times 5 just to make sure. 15, 16, 17, yep. So I know that this equation will fit. So when I look over at my choices, their signs are wrong on A. So they have 30 times 5 and 4 times 5, but you don't multiply those two together. You add those two products together. So A is not right. B is not right because they do 30 times 5 and then 4 times 4. It should be 4 times 5. Okay, D is not right again because it has you multiplying the two products when you should add them. So you're only left with C. All right, look at 10 for me. What is the total area of the figure? So you're trying to find the inside measurement. Area is always square inches. I see that all of my choices have square inches, or not inches, but it's always square. So all of my choices have square in them. So what I need to do is figure out this inside portion. I need to do area. A lot of times you can use the equation length times width if it is a rectangle or a square shape like this. So let's look. My width right here is 4 inches and 2 inches. Well, I know 4 and 2 together makes 6 inches. So I'm going to use a 6. Okay, times it by 8 inches. Well, these are just my math facts. 6 times 8 is 48. Right? 48? Yeah, 48 square inches. Okay. 11. I'm going to work it out, but I worked it out earlier, and I found that there's really no correct answer. So that's just a typo in our instructor book. So I'll just go ahead and do it with you, but don't worry about marking anything. You can mark whatever. It won't be, the answer key is made, so it won't be counted wrong because it was a mistake in the book. So it says, at my birthday party, there were 6 circular tables that sat 3 people. So that's going to be 6 times 3. 6 circular with 3 at each, with 3 people at each. And then it says 6 circular tables that each sat 3 people. 5 square tables that each sat 4. So that's going to be 5 times 4. And 6 rectangular tables that each sat 8. 6 times 8. How many seats were at my party? Well, you have to add up 18, 20, and 48. That gets you 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe it does. Maybe I just added wrong the first time I did it. So when I did my circular tables and my square tables and my rectangular tables and I added up all those products, I got 86. I must have done it wrong the first time I did it. All right, so that's 11. 12, I'm sorry that those didn't copy well. Here are your fractions. All of the first figure are 1/2. 1/2, 1/2, 1/2, 1/2. Only one of these is actually equal to 1/2. This is obviously not 1/2. This is a little bit less than 1/2, so I can't use that one. This is 3 out of 6, which is half of this shape. And this one is too little. So your answer is going to be 1/2 is equal to 3, 6. They're worth the same amount. All right, 13 says a triangle has a perimeter of 16. What is the missing side? So I know that perimeter means adding up the outside edges. So I know some of my outside edges, 6 plus 4, give me all the way to 10. But I need to get to 16. So what's missing? 6. So I've got one side, it has to be 6 because 6 plus 4 plus 6 would get me to 16. So I am missing a side that is 6 inches. All right, guys are doing great. We're almost there. All right, what characteristic describes a rhombus? Okay, so when I think of a rhombus, I think of kind of like a square that is smushed a little bit, slanted a little bit. I'm not a very good drawer, but I'll try. All sides are the same length. So if I look at this, let's see, 5 sides, no. A rhombus is just like a square. It's a quadrilateral. Can't be 5 sides. All sides parallel. Yes, because a square has all sides parallel, all equal length, and so does a rhombus. 4 right angles. It doesn't have to have 4 right angles. 2 parallel sides. Well, it's all parallel sides. So what best describes a rhombus? All parallel sides. You guys can do this one. Which one is equally split into fifths? What is this shape? What category does this shape belong in? The first thing I do is count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sides. What do we call a 4-sided shape? A rhombus has 4 sides, but they're all the same length. This doesn't have 4 sides, all the same length. A trapezoid has one pair of opposite sides parallel. We don't have that here. A square has 4 right angles. We don't have that. All we have is a quadrilateral. Okay. When a hexagon is split into 2 equal parts, each part is called a, so let me draw a hexagon. Again, I'm not a good drawer, but you'll get the idea. Okay, there's my hexagon. If I cut it, you'll see that this top side is a trapezoid and this bottom side is a trapezoid. So when you cut a hexagon in half, you'll have a trapezoid on each half. You can do 18 equal parts. Identify the shape for 19. So count your sides again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. What do we call an 8-sided polygon? Even if it's irregular like this, an 8-sided polygon is an octagon. Octa means 8. Good. All right, look at 20 for me. Which of the following shapes are quadrilaterals? Well, 1 is not because it doesn't have 4 sides. 2 is, it has 4 sides and it's closed. 3 is, it has 4 sides and it's a closed shape. 4 does, 5 does, 6 does not. So 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all quadrilaterals. What is not an attribute of a pentagon? Well, I know a pentagon has 5 sides. I know it can have 2 right angles. It doesn't have to, but it can. It is a polygon. It's not a parallelogram. Parallelograms are quadrilaterals, 4 sides. All right, identify the shape. Let's count our sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-sided shape. What do we call that? A pentagon. All right, this one I have trouble with, so maybe you all can help me a little bit. It says, which of the following statements is always true? I am pretty sure a square is not necessarily a rhombus. So I know that's not correct because a square has to have 4 right angles and a rhombus does not have to have any specific type of angles. It just has to have 4 equal sides. Wait a second. What did I say? A square is a rhombus. Yes, a square is a rhombus because they have 4 equal sides, and even though a square has right angles, a rhombus can technically have any kind of angles. So yes, that one could be correct. This one, a rhombus is a square. Not necessarily, because a rhombus can have any kind of angle. So just because it's a rhombus doesn't mean it has to be a square. A rectangle is a square. Not necessarily, because a rectangle doesn't have to have all 4 sides equal. A square is a rectangle. Yes, a square is a special type of rectangle that just happens to have all 4 sides the same length. So for this one, I know I kind of tripped over my words a little bit. I think D is correct. And I disagree with the answer key because I think D is correct, but I also think that A can be correct. So either one of those answers will be acceptable. It will be kind of wrong on the answer key. If I've made a mistake, let me know. But I'm thinking A is correct. A square is a rhombus. And D is correct. A square is a rectangle. All right. I hope that helped. Great job, guys.